Hi folks, today I want to share more details about the next Panasonic announcement happening next week around May 13, where we are probably getting 2 cameras and 1 lens. I also want to quickly dig into the Sony FX3A announcement, not because it was very interesting, but it confirms the second part of the rumor that I shared a couple of days ago, that we would get also another camera from Sony in late May. And also quickly talk about tariffs, a topic I don't want to talk much about, because then every time I post about that in the comment system you will see quite a lot of heavy dirty discussions. But there are some effects on happening right now on on the pricing of cameras and lenses for US customers. Okay. Before I talk about all of that, a quick reminder to like this video to help in the YouTube algorithm, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification button to not miss any of the upcoming rumors. So folks, according to my trusted sources, next week Panasonic will have an official product announcement event. This is confirmed through multiple sources, so I'm sure about that. There is no official Panasonic teaser, so this is an info that I share, and you have to trust me that this is going to happen. But I was the first to share the date and also the first to share what could be announced. And now a trusted source that shared correct info in the past told me more details about what to expect. But here comes a warning. I wasn't able to double and triple check that info. So keep it in mind that what I'm sharing right now about the new Panasonic cameras and the Panasonic lens hasn't been confirmed. So there's still a chance that this is wrong. Sometimes trusted sources that shared correct info in the past, it happened in the past 10 years that they also shared wrong info, not because they suddenly go crazy, but sometimes they misunderstand stuff, or sometimes they simply get the wrong information. So keeping in mind that there's still a margin of error when sharing those details. So I'm going through everything he said, and then you can make up your mind, comment this post with your folks, and hopefully in a couple of hours, next days, I can confirm that what he said is correct, or if there's some mistake, then I will let you know, okay? So he said there are 2 cameras and 1 lens. So I'm reading now what he wrote me. The first camera would be the Lumix S1II, and it would indeed feature the 24 megapixel partially stacked sensor that I rumored a couple of days ago that this camera would have. But what changed is that he says that it should shoot 70 frames per second instead of the previously rumored 50 frames per second. By comparison, the Nikon Z6 III that is, I think, likely using the same sensor shoots 60 frames per second. So I don't know, I'm very uncertain about that frame rate info. If it uses a 24 megapixel partially stacked sensor, definitely it will have a fast frame rate, that's for sure. He also said it would have no blackouts, that's also nice, and that the pricing in Europe would be around 3,500 euro. Not a cheap camera, but a very capable camera for video and fast frame rate, so that's what I've been told. I don't have any more specs about video and so forth. If you're wondering what the price will be in US dollars, I'm a bit afraid. So this is just my speculation. Most Panasonic cameras, I think, are made in China, and there's a 145% tariff rate right now on Chinese imported products. So I suspect that there's a chance that if this camera is made in China, that there will be no US pre-order on that day available at all. Because it's pointless to launch a camera for $7,000 instead of $3,500. It depends, first of all, if the rumor is correct. Second, if the camera is indeed produced in China. And third, maybe, I know, like you, I read the news, there's now a China-US official discussion about those tariffs, and maybe those tariffs will be gone or paused in a couple of days from now, in a couple of weeks, and then US pre-orders will be available very soon. The second camera that would be announced, he says there is a Lumix S1II e. This camera would also have a 24 megapixel sensor, but there is no info here if this uses the same partially stacked sensor or another sensor. And it has a less performance than the S1II, and the pricing is also less. It's 2,800 euro. And to me this makes little sense, but probably because there is no info as of yet, so maybe if we see the detailed info then we understand why this makes sense, but as of now this makes little sense to me. By the way, if you know more about those cameras and you can confirm that this rumor is true, or if it's wrong, or if there are some mistakes, just contact me here using the email address and contact form. If you find something on the web, you hear something from someone, you can share this info, and this helps me to figure out slowly what could be announced by Panasonic on May 13. And this is all he said. Actually, there are some aspects he added at the end of the message. He said that both cameras support CF Express and SD, and you can copy that data to SSD on the fly. And both cameras would have a new AF mode named Urban Sports. So that was all the info he shared about those cameras. We will get the Lumix S1II and Lumix S1IIe according to that source. Again, keep in mind, this wasn't double checked, triple checked by other sources, so there's still a margin of error in that. We would also get a new lens along those two cameras, and the lens specs are 24 to 60mm 2.8. The lens weight is 544 grams. The price is 999 euro, and it has a control button just like on Sony lenses. Still, I'm not 100% sure, so I feel uncomfortable sharing it to you right now because I wasn't able to double and triple check it, and in the past I know that trusted sources can make mistakes and share wrong info, so don't hold me yet accountable about that. Hold me accountable that there will be a Panasonic announcement next week. But now I'm curious to read your comments about this, what you think about the two cameras, and also about the lens. The lens was rumored to have maybe even a 2.0 aperture. According to that one source, it would not be the case. We would get a more regular, still very exciting, but 24 60mm 2.8 lens. And now, moving on to Sony, just for a small consideration. I told you that trusted sources told me that on May 7, Sony would announce a small FX3 update, and then in late May a very new camera with some new features. And the good news is that indeed yesterday Sony did announce the FX3A, which basically has just an improved LCD screen, new battery charger. The reason why Sony did release this camera is because the LCD screen is no more in production, so they had to update the LCD screen on the FX3. It doesn't mean that there is no FX3 coming down the road. It's just even if the FX3 is close to being announced, I don't know, but could be announced very soon. The FX3 would still remain in production, but they couldn't produce that camera, so they had to update it with a new LCD screen. But really, this is not important. Important part is that this confirms that it's very likely the second part of the rumor that I shared in the past days is correct, that we're getting a completely new camera by end of May. I'm very close to make a separate video where I share all the specs of this camera that has some certainly a couple of intriguing features, but it's a niche camera, so it's not the E7V or whatever. So this is something more for the cine folks than for normal hybrid photography shooters, but still a very interesting model. And now let's talk about tariffs. And yeah, I know every time I talk about tariffs, the hell breaks loose down in the comment system. Again, I tell you, this is not about politics. I don't freaking care on this channel about politics. It's not that. I'm talking about the effects of politics. No matter if the politics is coming from right, left, down, center, up, then I don't care. Diagonal politics, I don't care. But there are some effects, okay? And we can see those effects right now. Like, for example, the Leica products did get a price increase in the US. For example, the Lux 8 from Leica that is produced, manufactured in China, got a 90% price increase, while all other cameras like the Leica SL3, the Leica M11, the Leica Monochrome got a price increase between 7 and 10% because those cameras are manufactured in Germany. And as you know, the tariff rate for the European Union is 10%. So price increases are between 7 and 10%. Sigma also did announce that they will increase the price on lenses from June the 2nd. Sigma does manufacture lenses in Japan only. Also there we have a 10% tariff rate. So I just guess estimated price increase will be again between 5 and 10%. So nothing really dramatic, but there will be a price increase coming on June the 2nd. You feel it more on the expensive lenses from Sigma, like the 300-600mm lens that is priced at $6,000. If the price increase would be 5%, it means that the price would be $6,300. If it goes up to 10%, then it would be $6,600. So Sigma say that if you pre-order it before June the 2nd, you are guaranteed the price of the pre-order. Okay folks, again, if you have some rumors to share, not only about the Panasonic cameras and lenses that are coming next week, but also about Sony and other manufacturers, you can contact me here. It's very helpful. Thanks a lot for this. And again, if you like what I'm doing, like this video to boost me in the YouTube algorithm, as this is a very small channel and usually after I post these videos, everybody else copies me, sometimes without mentioning me, so it helps me if you like this video to keep me in front before them, before the copycats, okay? And also, of course, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification button, and hopefully see you soon to share more reliable info, confirmations about the Panasonic announcement next week, and definitely soon, finally, with full specs of that new Sony camera that is coming late May, okay? See you soon, folks.